So today, when you're making your chicken curry, there's a couple things. May I get the pizza pan, please? That I said I was going to get. Pan. So a hint for organization that you guys could do is that before I get started, I'm just going to get all my mise en place ready to go. So I have my onions diced, right? I'm a lay curry, got everything right here. Got my fish sauce, and then afterwards I'll get all this on the tray. Some ginger. I'm just gonna slice. There's a couple things you could do. If you want, you can peel it, okay, or else just wash it, and then afterwards you can just put it together. So I'm gonna just do thin slices. Fresh ginger, and then afterwards you can get rid of it. And it depends on how much you yourself like. I don't usually like a lot of ginger. I think my mom kind of OD'd me on that, so I usually eat a lot of ginger. But it's up to you how much you want. So in terms of the different types of vegetables, please let me know because I do have a little bit of spinach. I also have broccoli. Okay, I have a lot of. I have a couple green peppers, not much, and go from there. So when you guys are doing your chops, notice how rough my chops are. Basically, my cuts are. You don't want it to be too nice, I guess, because different from other types of cooking, Asian cooking is all about high heat and lots of flavor. This is a lemongrass, and notice I use the blunt of my knife, and I basically bruise it. Wow. Sorry, Jen. Didn't mean to go all the way to you. Because what happens is the more you bruise this item, the more aromatic it gets. Sorry?
Yeah,
that'll be crazy.
I was about to say, oh, what?
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so I got the lemongrass. And then afterwards, your chili. I have some jalapeno one, or you're going to put the Thai chili. So you guys want Thai chili? Yeah. Okay, so go in there, Joel, and get the red one. But because I don't have jalapeno.
Joel, I can see it from here.
Oh no.
That's people serve, Joel.
I'm going to take my yams.
Joel's smart.
These are going to be really hot. So this big guy, I'm going to take.
Don't lose.
We're gonna fly.
Yeah, it's super spicy.
I can handle it.
I switched up the seeds. Now this is something that you guys. Hey guys. Shh. You're being recorded. You do not know that, right? Okay. Really? Okay. So just to let you know that this is super hot. I'm only taking 1/3 of it. And last time someone actually touched their nose with this, and they ended up dunking their whole head into ice water because it was so hot and spicy.
Really?
So anyway, yeah, it's. Yeah, they did. They actually did. Just out of the fact that they couldn't stand the heat. That was like a couple of years ago. Do I need to go and get you guys to reshuffle again? Because it sounds like it. Maybe we can spend one day where I don't have to go and be on YouTube and asking. Well, that's already done. Okay. So I'm taking the yams because why do I add yams or something sweet? Is that it's because it takes away the heat. Sugar, if you ever had something that's too spicy, it's all about, you can do two things to go and kill the spice. Because the spice has oils in there, you actually either put something sweet in there and then it counteracts it, or you can have something that is dairy, so something that coats it like milk. So if you have something that's too hot, drink milk.
And bread.
Oh, bread, yes, bread because it soaks up the oils. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a nice dice and try to make it as even as possible. When you guys cook, you need to start looking at your dices and slices to make sure that they're as even as possible, because what that does is that it actually helps to make sure that your food cooks evenly. Okay, so there's nothing raw about it. On top of this, I actually have a couple of items in here that I am getting in. This is a rutabaga because I just have leftovers, so I thought I might as well use it.
What is a rutabaga like? Is it like a root or is a rutabaga like a
It is a root vegetable. It's kind of like a yellow turnip.
Oh, good to
Yeah.
know.
So a little bit, not as sweet. Actually, it is the same sweetness. So just gonna give this a good dice. I'm gonna add it just because I have it.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing about curries is that, or stews, is that whatever you have left over, you can just put it in.
Rutabaga.
Rutabaga. So you're not gonna have rutabaga.
Oh, we're not having.
I'm just using up vegetables. Do you understand that? It's just whatever is in the fridge, I just kind of use. And that's the thing you guys gotta start learning, is that you don't have to use exactly what I do. You can just change it up based on what you have in the kitchen. Did you say you want to make it with maple syrup?
Instead of fish sauce.
Very different though. It looks like maple syrup, but you need to find a kind of like a substitute for it. You gotta make sure that it's sort of a little bit kind of the same. Okay? So when you're gonna be cooking, you're gonna take a pair knife, and the first thing you do is that you're gonna go in. Now that I have majority of my stuff, I can keep cooking it later. Right?
I think people who are shutting down.
You're gonna take 2 chicken thighs. Oh, this is gonna be everyone's favorite. You're gonna take it and put it on the cutting board. So you guys, I'm gonna look at how food safe you guys are. Do not cross-contaminate. Once you have this done, please wash your hands right away, wash the cutting board right away, and the knife right away. Okay, so that you guys aren't cross-contaminating. But this should be, one partner should be doing this, the other partner should be doing this part. Okay, and remember, I'm just doing one part. You guys have to do the rice pilaf too, which takes half an hour. So allot it into your timeline. You find the bone, okay, you're gonna go straight down the bone and hit the bone. My goal is that you're gonna show me your bone afterwards, and it should be super clean. So once I do that, I'm gonna keep using my knife, and then I'm just gonna go into the bone the whole time, okay? Because then I'm going away from the meat. I dig it, and then after I'm able to put my finger through it, okay, on the bottom. Kind of clean it a little, using the dull part of your knife, okay?
That is so cool.
And after that, basically, as I'm scraping it, because the meat is money, literally, okay? The more you waste, all right, the meat, it has nothing to do with it. You're going to put it right into garbage. But the good thing about this is I actually use this for chicken stock. So this is my favorite part, which is the chicken knee, okay? So you can leave it or you can leave it.
Chicken.
It's like over at the knee. Because these are the chicken legs, right? Yeah. So same thing, gonna go straight down the middle. Okay?
Chicken feet.
And I'm gonna go on both sides. Oh, chicken feet. That one loves eating that. Okay? It's not bad if you actually start eating it when you're young. Okay, so same thing. I'm able to put my finger through. That means I can put my knife through. And after, I'm gonna angle up. Okay, notice, once again, I'm angling up. Okay? Then I can get all my food or my meat off. Then afterwards, I'm gonna go and take off the bones. So as minimal meat on there as possible. If you do not like the chicken knee, you can take off the chicken knee. Oh, my favorite part. Hey, if you actually save it all, I can deep fry it and eat it.
Yeah.
Do you only put the bones in the chicken stock?
Yes, always bones, chicken stock, no chicken meat, because the bones will have more flavor, and the chicken meat will actually make it cloudy and a bad stock. So, yeah, you want to now cut it into cubes, and it doesn't have to be small, it can be large chunks, because you want it to be visible, okay? Once it's done, a little bit different. You're gonna marinate this. Okay? Marinating means just to put flavor in there. It could be using vinegar or wine or anything, but I'm doing a dry marinade, okay? And or you can call it a rub, and that's often used in barbecues. Okay? Yeah.
Why don't you use the bowl and take it out?
Sorry?
Why don't you use the bowl and take it
Or
out?
meaning like when I cook it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could, but I also make my own chicken stock. So I might as well just make a big pot of chicken stock and make it more pure instead of just putting it in. Make sense? Yeah. So I'm gonna go and
Can I use deep fry the deep fry the chicken knees after this? Because I kind of want to see how that.
I can. You want to eat the knees?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm an oddball.
You're gonna go and put a tablespoon of the Malaysian curry in here, okay? And I'm gonna let it kind of marinate a little bit. It's 2 to 3 teaspoons, as I said. Now I'm going to start not making exact amounts because I don't want you to go and rely on measurements. I want you to go and make as much of a judgment as you can yourself. So I'm turning this on. Okay? And now you got to be careful. I tell you this because with a good curry, you need higher heat. But at the same time, let's try our best to not cause fire. Okay? So you notice when I'm cooking, so I got this marinated, I put it on the side. If you want, yes, you can add a little bit of the fish sauce in there, just a little bit, just to get it a little bit wet so it cooks a little bit better. Okay. It's quite tasty. I'm going to heat this up, and I want it quite warm so that when I add it, it is smoking. But in order for you to be making sure that you don't cause a fire, you want to go and make sure that this is all ready to go. So I have this all ready to go here. So that all I need to do is just add it right in. Okay? So feel the heat. I'm going to use canola oil because it has higher heat. Smoke point. I'm going to add it. I add, I don't know, a tablespoon or 2. So I add things that have a buffer first. So I'm going to add my onions. And when I add it, I want to see if it's going to go in, become really hot. Nope, not hot enough.
Can you also tell it's like a splash?
The only thing is that with this high heat, it will cause it to pop, and the oil can pop into your eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna add mine in now because my heat is smoking. So it is smoking, but if it is to point where it's smoking too much, take it off the heat and then add it. Okay, be safe. Do not add it and just go, oh yeah, it's gonna be fine. I've seen people do that, and then you want to make it so that it's so hot that it's almost to almost like you're gonna catch fire, but you're not. That's the scary part for you guys. So please be careful with your heat control. Okay, really be careful. Don't do it so hot that once you add it, you're gonna catch a fire. Okay, so.
What did you add to the
Yeah, garlic, ginger, and basically what I want is this really strong aromatic smell, okay? So this one for the curry is all about the smell of it, okay? So, if you add too much chili, then I'm not going to eat it.
And I think I'm crazy.
Yes, and that's what you want. Okay, I'm going to go and add the spices, and I'm going to go and add the lemongrass now. Okay, the only thing you try not to do is burn your garlic. Woo! Sorry. Stand back. I do not have hand-eye coordination when I'm tired. Okay, in goes my chicken. And I'm going to add a little bit more curry powder because I like that taste of it. And you want to go and brown it a little bit. I'm using the Malaysian curry. So Malaysian curry it's going to be a yellow curry, but also it's going to be a little bit hotter. I mean, not hotter. It doesn't have that strong spices of cumin and cardamom. Okay, it's more of a milder. So these lemongrass, it's something that you can't eat. You do have to pick out. Okay, or you can leave it there for decoration, but just to let you know that other people don't add it in. Okay. Notice what I'm doing now. I'm letting it cool down a little. Why? Because I'm going to add my stock. 2-to-1 ratio, right? And
So for every one part of that,
for every 2 parts of the chicken stock, so I add 2/3 of the chicken stock, so it goes 2/3 of the way. And then I add the coconut milk, and I apologize, my coconut milk I just took last night. So it's a little bit different than what it looks like. Usually it doesn't look like this. Okay, and at that point, so notice I add it off heat because I don't want it to be, it's going to be chunky. Okay, I'm adding it doesn't usually look like this, it's mine. And I basically cook it with the coconut milk. Okay. On top of that, I'm just going to add some brown sugar. So Jim, can you pass me some brown sugar?
Wait, if you add a lot of curry, no.
You don't want to add a lot of curry because that's how you end up tasting. You want to taste everything.
A lot of
Okay.
chili,
Sorry, a lot of chili but without sugar. Then it'll be sweet and too spicy and you can taste the coconut milk. So I'm going to taste a little bit of sugar just so that it makes it a little bit sweet. And then after that, so you understand that 2/3 you cover it, so it's a stew because I'm covering it with all the flavors in here now. I'm also going to go and cook it with the yams and everything else in here. Because this is going to help thicken, it's going to give it flavor and sweetness so it doesn't feel like it's too much. Okay, now it's fully covered. This is a stew because it's fully covered. Alright, and I'm going to let it boil. And then once it boils, I'm turning it down to a simmer. Because if you boil it, it's kind of like someone beating you up. Alright, but if you guys give it like simmer, it feels like someone's giving you a massage and loosening up your muscles. Okay, and that's what you want for braise and stew. Once you do that, you're going to go and, once it boils, you're going to add your kaffir lime leaf. So while that happens, kind of rub it, get the oils come out, make it flavorful, and then after it's rip it, and then you're going to dump it in. Okay? And that's basically it. While that happens, the last thing you do, I forgot, classic, fish sauce. Okay, if you don't like fish sauce, I just add a little bit. Yeah. Kaffir lime leaves. Okay, it should have a very, very strong smell to it. Okay. Once that's done, what you could do and saute on the side are your vegetables. So spinach goes really well. I have the broccoli. You can steam or blanch. You guys should know what blanch is. Okay, so I should see proper method and technique. So now that I've taught you this, I'm expecting that you apply these techniques to this. And it's your choice, okay? It's not you have to do everything exactly the same. It's, but I should be seeing if you're gonna do beans, just like blanching beans, you're doing the same thing, but now with broccoli, okay? And now also think about when someone's eating it. You don't want it to be the point where you eat it and it's like kind of so big for your mouth that you have to like shove it in and look awkward with it. So you want to be careful when you guys add it. So I add all this in, and I'm going to let it slowly simmer until it becomes thick. All right? It should become quite thick and chunky, like a stew. So think about, well, you ate Campbell's, chunky Campbell before, right? Campbell. I had Campbell's stew before. That was good. Okay? So anyone have any questions about this? This will take the same amount of time as you make your rice. So if I were you, write this down that you should, in order to get your food out by 8:30, have both this and your rice going. Okay? By 8:30, you're at this stage. and your rice is ready to put into the oven if you want this to be done. Now your rice could be having different flavors to it too. I made coconut rice before, where I actually had the rice and then after I put in coconut milk in there instead of some stock, and that was tasty. Okay, but you do have coconut again already, so you might not want that. Or you can add lime zest at the very end. That's possible too. So I'll let you think about that. The last thing I want is that I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna keep simmering it. I'm gonna leave it and I'll reheat it tomorrow, or sorry, Thursday. So that what happened is you're gonna get a chance to eat it and try it so that you can compare yours with mine and then adjust the consistency and adjust the flavor yourself. All right. The reason why I want to do that instead of doing it today is because it's kind of hard with curry to remember the flavor. So I'm just gonna let you kind of taste it and then fix it as you go along. Does that make sense? So I'll heat this up right after you guys are starting to cook and cut, and then afterwards I'm gonna go and simmer it, and then you can have it, taste it, and compare yours with mine, so you can know what the flavor is gonna taste like. Questions? No? Okay. All right. And that's basically it.